Hi, good morning everybody. It's Elle here from Return to Health. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's getting chilly. So it's time to start preparing for the sniffles that might arrive and help your family and yourself get through the winter with just your winter willies on. All right, so the first thing that I always recommend to my clients and my own family is to start building up the immune system to make sure that it's nice and strong to make its way through winter. So we have an immune boost combi that we use for that. It's called Immune Boost, so the clue's in the name. And if you want to start taking that preventatively, prophylactically, then it's good to start with maybe 1 dose daily or 1 dose every second day, and just make sure that everything is at optimum to keep you healthy. However, if you feel, or some of your kids might start with a little sniffle or a cough, or you think something's coming, then it's good to get on top of that as quickly as possible. So our coughs and colds combi, or if there's a lot of bone pain and body aches involved, then the flu combi will help you to get onto that as quickly as possible. So with those, I suggest taking 3 doses straight away at the first sign of any symptoms. And then just to stand back for a few hours and see whether or not you've nipped it in the bud, or perhaps it has taken hold and you can start supporting yourself through that, or your children, of course. In terms of single remedies that you might want to use, things like aconite or arsenicum album are really good if you didn't have my combis on hand. If indeed then something does take hold and it feels like that cold is settling in, I like to support using the coughs and colds combination of remedies with the infection and inflammation combi. I find when you put the two together, you get a much better action. One, to treat the underlying inflammation, and then the coughs and colds to support all of the symptoms moving through. Now, something that's important to remember with colds, heavy colds, as well as flu, is that we're looking for a steady progression. Every day needs to be a little bit different. So even though the symptoms might be similar, we're looking for a slight change, a change in the color of the mucus, a change in the way it's presenting, a change in the cough. And we're also looking for a downward and outward direction of cure. So we might start with a foggy head and some congested sinuses, and then some phlegm in the throat, and then finally a chesty cough. Very happy with that downward progression. So when we're monitoring for these things to be moving along and that we're dosing appropriately to keep us supported through the process, we're looking for that little bit of change every day, and we're also looking for the bell curve of the inflammation. So it'll start off slowly, it'll gain momentum, there'll be some sort of healing crisis, which in a cold can come with a mild fever that will break naturally, and then it will start tapering off. So as long as we're seeing that progression line and that bit of change every day, generally we're okay. But of course, as always, if you've got any questions, you can just reach out to us. In terms of some other supports that we have in this space is remedy combis around chesty coughs. That's really been going around, and I like using a combination of remedies here, because you've got your kiddos that will just do the chesty cough, or they might do a really heavy set in tight chesty cough, or they could be croupy, or they could even be whoopy, or there's maybe a slight bronchitis starting to set in. So I like to use a wide variety of remedies in combination. I find you get a really good response that way, and the cough starts resolving quite fast. I've also got some remedies around mucus and sinus congestion, which is wonderful to add to your steam vaporizer and have that running overnight. Remember to elevate the head of the mattress just ever so slightly with your little ones to help them with drainage. And then of course some sore throat remedies, just in case there's that rawness either from coughing or maybe from the inflammation. So the difference here is we would be using the coughs and colds remedies, or the infection and inflammation remedies, and the immune boost in the background to actually treat and support the whole process. Whereas things like the sinus and mucus or the chesty coughs, we're only using as needed as the symptoms progress. So it's good to have a little first aid kit around your winter ailments. And we've also got you covered for some nice breathe easy balms and oils, and some throat sprays if that's necessary, and essential oils that you can put in your diffuser. That will all help make the process smoother and hopefully get it clearing through faster if indeed you didn't manage to get ahead of it. I hope that's helpful, and stay warm and healthy and happy this winter. Thank you. Goodbye.